How do I even begin? Where do I even begin? Where do I even begin? Get out the way. I need lotion. Here. Hello, welcome to this channel. Welcome to the video. My name is Jasmine. I like to talk about anything and everything, and usually I like to talk about things that I feel like help me in my experience or scenarios, or just really anything in general that I feel like other people might also need to hear or could be useful, or that they could also resonate with. And in this video specifically, I will be talking about a concept that I created that pretty much would explain a way that you might actually be dealing with a battle within your life that is kind of like unseen or hard to explain. And I would call that like spiritual, mental, emotional kind of like warfare or whatever. And I like to call that the force. And I am pretty much giving that its name, giving that the name of the force. Because yeah, anyway, I have a definition for what I feel like the force means. So yes, this video is pretty much on that topic. If you, for any reason, feel like you don't understand, cannot relate, or you don't resonate with anything that I'm saying, that is completely fine. This video is most likely not for you. It is for the individuals that find this relatable, can understand it, might need to hear it. That is it. That is all. If you don't feel like you get it, then just go, stop listening. No one's forcing you to hear this or whatever. But if you want to be nosy, then sure. All right, let's get into it. Okay. All right. So disclaimer, this video is to shed light on tactics and common ways that unseen mental, emotional, and spiritual warfare take place. Each talking point is based on my personal experiences, which is the inspiration for this video, and I seek to inform, share, and offer solutions to build a stronger sense of self and personal power. I also feel the need to say that although I am speaking on these points, that a lot of times you might feel like you are going through these things because of the mindset that you might have to want to be accepted, validated, and recognized in some way, shape, or form. I feel like once you kind of like stop wanting those things, then it can help you propel yourself and become stronger, and exist within the environments that might actually be seeking to, make you feel like less than. Anyway, this is also something that I wrote that I feel like I should say. So there is no need to seek validation from anyone or any external source. Seeking validation is the surest way to lose your sense of self, authenticity, and sight of your original purpose that is tailored for you. Wallowing in self-pity when you aren't received by others or accepted by others, or when you don't get the reaction that you would like from others, or what you want in life, it will make you weaker. When existing amongst others, it is normal to want to be acknowledged, accepted, recognized, considered. However, when you are not as normal, or you might not be the same as them, and you are your own person, you have to understand that you will not be liked as much. You will be misunderstood and or challenged. Embrace and get used to not liking others and not being liked. We are not meant to be agreeable with everyone and everything, and vice versa. And understand that your individuality is a protection. It deters those that are not for you. Yes. Force that's, I keep messing it up. The force that hates and seeks to destroy you. Okay. So, what is the force, you might ask? I'll tell you what the force is. The force that hates and seeks to destroy you is a lower ranking entity or spirit that exists seeking to infiltrate your mind and spirit to conform to self-hate, self-pity, depression, being a loser, needing validation, and staying hateful and envious, right? So anything that you can think of that would keep you in a state of disliking your individuality and having low self-esteem and spreading those feelings to other people. Okay? So it's a force that works in a way to not only like come to you, but to also use you to spread its infection. That's what I like to call it. All right. So this force commonly works through people that you know in your social environments, or your social environments at home, your workplaces, and in your relationship dynamics of any kind, and also strangers. So yeah, pretty much anywhere that you go, and then also people that you know as well. You don't have to be super close to them, and sometimes you are close to them. So you can decide who those people might be for you, maybe after I explain. Anyway, so the typical environments include workplaces, institutions, schools, your home, and places that you frequent. Typical people include coworkers, bosses, classmates, teachers, friends, romantic partners, spouses, family. Okay. The force is in always trying to get to you through other people that you most likely already know, or people that approach you as well. Yes. Honestly, other synonyms for what the force could be, you can maybe think of some on your own, but I think people would probably just call it like negative spirits, envious spirits, demons perhaps, but I like to call it the force because that's kind of just my own way of looking at it. I am gonna tell you, these are bulletin points that I derived from my own experience of how the force that hates and seeks to destroy you will try to infiltrate you to make you dislike yourself and also spread those feelings to other people as well. The first one is that the force that works through people. All right. So at this point, we're talking about like human actions, human reactions. We're talking about people and what they do. If you're lost, just to recap, the force works within people. It is an entity or spirit that works to try to make you dislike yourself or have self-pity or have low self-esteem, etc., etc., etc. All right. So see, these are some of the ways that people do this that are infected with the force or have the force within them. So here's the first one. Makes unprovoked, underhanded, or negative comments that aim to make you question your sense of self, leaving you feeling confused, angry, or sad. Okay, so I'm not going to give examples for each and every one of these. If they usually try to make underhanded or weird comments and you guys don't play like that, it's unprovoked. There is no type of like understanding that like this is what we do to each other, you know, because some people do that. And it's like, you know, think about the people and the individuals that I said. So, you know, family, coworkers, friends, etc., making underhanded, weird, negative comments, and it was unprovoked. You didn't toss the first stone. It was just them. You're minding your business. You might have a casual conversation. They say some shady stuff, and you're just like, was that, you know what I mean? It's like backhanded comment type thing, you know, or compliment. Backhanded compliments, oftentimes that's like a big, good example. Or just they might straight up say something that just doesn't even like, it's like, why would you do that? You know? Next is they use jokes for an opportunity to playfully insult you. They use jokes to insult you. Okay. Casually, playfully talk about like your appearance, your occupation, what you do for a living. I don't know. It could be anything. Okay? If it feels like an insult, it is an insult. You don't have to laugh with them. I'm just letting you know that this is a way that they try to do that because it's like an insult. And once again, if you guys don't play like that, and if you don't like it, then don't go for that. Another one. When giving constructive criticism, it's not effective. They use giving you constructive criticism as the opportunity to only point out flaws, and they never really offer helpful solutions. Sometimes people are not going to like anything that you do, and they may not have anything against you. It's not always about them. It's not always about the force trying to infiltrate. Sometimes people literally might not like what it is that you did or do or what you represent, but they don't really comment on it. They just naturally understand, you aren't my cup of tea. I don't really have anything to say. But a lot of times people will like know that they don't like you or what you do, whatever, but they don't really, maybe they have the ability and the rank to act on the subject or thing or whatever that you do, but they don't really like tell you like anything that would be helpful for you to, I guess, like help yourself or get better. It's more so like, I'm just going to point out everything that I don't like. And it could be completely subjective and not objective. You know what I mean? Like when you give constructive criticism, you should point out things that are good, and then you should also point out things that, you know, could help, I feel like. So yeah. And if there is nothing good, then just point out like, okay, well, hey, like I think that this would be better, whatever. Yeah, and that's obviously if you're in a position where you asked for constructive criticism or whatever. So sometimes you're not trying to get constructive criticism. Somebody might just unsolicitedly give that to you, whatever. Anyway, here is one that I noticed over the time that I kind of been like late teens, early 20s, keep you distracted. They like to keep you distracted by constantly being needy for your attention or your presence. And by them doing that, it drains you of your energy when spending time with them. You feel drained. And they're keeping you distracted because they might like act like, oh my gosh, like I need you for this, I need you for that. Can you do this? Can you do that? And that, or they might just kind of like always want to be in your presence, or they want you in their presence. And if you love them, if you like them, obviously, I'm not talking about the people that doesn't make you feel drained. I'm talking about the people that try to do that and they do it and they try to convince you that it's normal, but it's not normal. And once again, it will keep you distracted because you might not even might, you most likely have things to do. But yeah, anyway. And then this is kind of just like an add-on, but this is the next point, which is they try to make you feel guilty when you assert boundaries and when you put yourself first. Anytime someone tries to make you feel guilty about a boundary that you are asserting or putting up, and when you're putting yourself first, you need to watch that. Okay, that's the force trying to mess with you. All right, watch that, because guess what? Not everyone's going to like your boundaries, right? I mean, that's something that it's normal. It's normal for people to be like, dang, they said no this time. Dang, okay. But you're going to have to adjust. Don't make me feel guilty for being like, I don't feel like it today. No, not really. Don't make me feel guilty for saying no about something that I rightfully feel like I should do. Don't make me feel guilty for choosing rest over spending time with you. That's weird to me. But, to them, they're just trying to get that energy. So, yeah. The Force, watch that. Force like to do Force stuff. Moving forward, no sense of consideration towards you when interacting with you or around you. Like they'll disregard you. Now, sometimes if y'all not cool like that, it's like whatever. But there are times where it's like, you feel it's like some of these things you just feel it. Like it doesn't have to be explained, right? It's just kind of like it feels like you purposely try to ignore me for whatever reason. And if you end up saying hi to me, it's because you don't want you don't want to look bad in front of other people. You don't want to look like, damn, like I ignored you in front of other people. That's gonna make me look shitty. So let me say hello, But honestly, I feel like this one is kind of self-explanatory. Yeah, like if they kind of disregard you and shit, yeah. They will stay silent when they know you are unknowingly making a decision that could harm you or negatively affect your life, and they show no concern. Now you might be like, but if I'm making that decision, it's not their responsibility to step in and be like, don't do that, right? But here's the thing. If they don't show any concern and if they stay silent, but you don't understand that that was an issue until later on, and you're like, damn, I was really about to do X, Y, and Z, and this person knew about it, but they didn't say anything. Like, this is the type of situation that it kicks in later, like during a different time where you're like looking back on it and being like, dang, I almost did this and that, but this person shut their mouth about it. They didn't say anything, but they clearly saw what was going on from their perspective. If now you would only really kind of like feel some type of way about this if you knew that they were knowledgeable of like how it would affect your life or how it would like harm you. Okay, so obviously this doesn't apply to every single scenario. And obviously, if you're an adult, it's like you're responsible for your own life. However, I think that it's fair to say that some people will know, like, I feel like people that actually do care about you, they're going to show concern. They'll be like, are you okay? Or like, are you sure you want to do that? Or, you know, maybe you should think about that a little bit more. You know, I'm not saying they're supposed to impede on your life. All I'm saying is that I think people that actually care will like show some concern. But like I said, this is the type of scenario that you might not really realize until later when you're looking back on it and you're just like, oh, damn, I almost messed my life up doing this, or I could have gotten hurt doing this, or this could have really been like a huge impact or consequence. And this person knew that, but they kept quiet about that. I'm just saying, like, that's kind of weird. They will keep you dependent on them for resources, information, or the ability to do something instead of them giving you the knowledge or source to do it on your own. I have a very good example of this, and I noticed this a lot with like people that live in my city that I have either been friends with or in a relationship with. And the city that I live in is heavily car dependent. And I noticed, I swear there's a gnat flying around in here. Anyway, I noticed that a lot of times, like, freaking gnat. It's always, why is it always a gnat? See, that's the force. Force messing with me. Force don't want me to say this. Because I swear every time I record, there want to be a gnat around here. There don't even be gnats in my room ever until I get on camera and just like a freaking gnat. Anyway, parents that live in the freaking South and you don't want to, you know how to drive, but you don't teach your kid how to drive. I'm sorry, I got beef with you. Because most of the time when I have like dated someone or been friends with someone and their parents, I'm talking about we're adults now, but they're like, yeah, I don't know how to drive. But like the parents clearly know how to drive and they didn't make their kid learn how to drive. I'm sorry, but somewhere in there, I don't respect that. Like, you can fight me if you want to, but usually whenever they get to telling me about who their parent is, their parents are not good people. Now, of course, this may not apply to every single person, but I'm just saying, like, this is based off like experience. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm just saying that this is an example of how the force, like these people will keep you dependent on like something so that they can keep you around them without you actually ever having the ability to be able to do it yourself, figure it out yourself, have the resource, have the information, have the skill set, have the knowledge. Because I feel like if someone cares about you, they want you to be able to have these things that should not be like hard to access or to know or to hand down. I'm talking about things that everyone should know or everyone should have, right? So yeah, that's just the driving thing is like a one example, but I'm sure that there are other examples that I could think about later. Um, but yeah, you gotta watch that. Like they'll keep you dependent on them for something. So yeah. Here's another one. So show discontent when you are actively achieving your goals, pursuing dreams, or when you briefly talk about them. I feel like this is kind of obvious. You might be like, hey, I just won $1,000. And they're going to be like, They might just literally stare at you like, cool, awesome. There's a freaking mosquito. It's a mosquito. The force. Anyway, something like that. Something as small as that. Now, I'm not saying that, once again, like, even the people that are happy for you could still be a part of the force. But usually the ones that clearly show discontent on their face are usually, they don't like you. When discussing a problem or scenario that emotionally affects you negatively, they like to play devil's advocate, or they try to find logic in why the other person did what they did, rather than listening to understand why you were hurt or feel disrespected. So you'll be like, this and this and this happened to me the other day. This person did this and this and this, and it really bothered me and it upset me and I felt disrespected. And then they try to hit you with the, well, maybe that's not what they meant to do. Maybe da 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 da. Maybe it's because you did this. And it's like, I'm not saying that you're going to be right, not 100% of the time, but pay attention to those moments when they can never just like have the empathy or understand how you feel, especially when it's like you're passionate and you're emotional about it, and they still kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like they still find a way to be like, well, are you sure? Maybe that's not what it was. And it's like, were you, especially if they weren't even there. It's like, but you weren't even there. Or when they were there, that's worse. Cause it's like, are we not having the same experience? I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. I don't like it. I don't care. They like to argue with you only to be right, rather than to gain understanding. They like to go back and forth. That's dangerous. There is no solution in arguing. There's only solution in having the conversation that is uncomfortable, but seeking to understand the other person, and then agreeing to disagree, and then be like, we feel two different ways about it, so let's just acknowledge that and move forward. Okay, if they are trying to go back and forth with you, but they are only seeking to be right, okay, and of course this works both ways. Like, I feel like two people should seek to understand each other, not necessarily for them to be right. Okay, so if they're only ever trying to be right when y'all are having a conversation or a debate or argument, you need to watch that, because usually they don't even like you. They're not trying to understand you. And I don't know about you, but if I'm arguing with anyone, it's for a really good reason. Okay, because I'm at a point where I feel like if I'm about to argue at this age, you need to pay me, because that's a lot of energy to go back and forth. I'm just saying, you want me to go back and forth? You want me to go back and forth? Yeah, no. Okay. I'm listening to understand you. I can respond how I would like to respond, but I'm not trying to be right. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, you're either gonna understand what I'm saying or not. I'm not about to try to convince you in this day and age. I'm not convincing you about anything. I'm just like, this is how I feel. We don't agree. Cool. Ugh, get comfortable. When bringing up an issue with them, they deflect. They start talking about something that you did to them in the past, so that they don't feel inferior or have attention on their behavior that you are confronting in the moment. Shit, like some shit that ain't got nothing to do with the situation at hand. I'm like, yeah, Okay, like watch them. Here's a good one. They will impede on your plans or goals somehow by starting an argument or inconvenience you on the day of an important event or scheduled plans, or they're going to do something that derails your future goals. So you might have like a plan, like, okay, I plan to like hang out with my friends. We planned this like months ago. And then somehow, some way, that force works through the person that you might be close to in a relationship with, whoever, and somehow some shit came up to where like now you got to cancel on your friends that you wanted to hang out with, and you planned this like a long time ago and it's supposed to be really fun, and that's just how it goes. Like it's just like, dang, it's always something, right? It's always something with them, right? It's always like, hey, I need your help with this, or this happened, or can you? It's like, no, that's not fair. That's not fair. It's not fair. But it'll just so happen to be on that day. It'll inconvenience you. And then as far as like the future goes, like that can be kind of broad, but yeah, that happens too, to where like you look up and then you'll realize like because you agreed to be with this person for whatever reason, or be involved, interact, be friends with somehow, like it just throws you off. Like you'll look up like months later, 2 years later, and be like, dang, I didn't even get to do what I said I was gonna do. I've been saying I was gonna do this for I don't know how long, but somehow by me being around you, it's never gonna happen. Now you're responsible for your own life. Don't get it twisted. But all I'm saying is like it happens to where like you'll look up and be like, dang, I never did X, Y, and Z because I realized I've been so distracted over here. And I'll get to why later. Is this the last one? I'll get to why it's important to have your life in your own hands. All right, here's another. It's a few more. I'm gonna try to get to that sweet spot that everyone appreciates. Like, take you to a certain place that's nice, maybe, or like they're doing a lot of things in a very premature stage within y'all's dynamic. Like it's like you should it's I'm talking about like in the dynamic of a relationship where y'all should still be getting to know each other and like building rapport, and y'all are still kind of at an acquaintanceship, but they kind of like might be desperate in a way, so they sort of like do certain things, say certain things, offer certain things to attract you. You have to watch out for that, because most of the time that is not going to be consistent. That is just a tactic for them to be accepted by you, so that way they feel accepted, validated, whatever they got going on, and they're going to try to manipulate you with that throughout the course of y'all's, dynamic relationship, whatever that might be. It could be anything. It does not have to be romantic. This does not have to only be for romantic relationships. This could be for any relationship in general. They will keep you in confusion. This is a very big one. Like, they'll keep you in a state of confusion. Like, one moment they're going to be mean, they're going to disregard you. The next day they're going to acknowledge you and try to be nice to you. They got to disarm you. I've dealt with that on jobs and stuff like that too. Like, it's like one moment you're like, fuck me. One minute it's like, fuck me. And the next minute it's just like, hey, how are you? It's like, no. It's like really fake. It's like two-faced stuff going on. I do think that people are allowed to show up naturally and be who they are, what they are. Emotions will fluctuate, whatever. But as an adult, you know what you're doing, I feel like. And this is dangerous in like relationships when you are closer with this person, like romantically or, family wise and stuff, because it can be very damaging. It's weird, you know? It's no consistent behavior. And you got to watch that. So they have a hopeless mindset and they want you to agree with their hopelessness so that they can pass it on to you. The Force has plenty of entities and spirits that I feel like are just like, I want people to also be hopeless and never go after what they want, or never like take care of themselves in a good way and be healthy. And if you are around people like that, you need to be careful because they usually have low self-esteem and they're going to try to spread that to you. And if you're someone that does not have low self-esteem, don't hang around people that also have low self-esteem. They will never acknowledge your accomplishments or personal growth when it is blatantly obvious. Everyone does not need to acknowledge you. Let's get that straight. But still, there are people that you interact with on a daily basis, friends, family, etc., and they will notice something, or you might actually have accomplished something, achieved something, but they are not going to say, like, if they don't say anything, they're never going to acknowledge it. They're just going to keep quiet. It's just like, to me personally, it's weird because I know I'm always be happy about people that are extensions of me. I'm like, anyway, people are allowed to feel jealous, envious, whatever. No, I'm not saying that that's not normal. All I'm saying is, the ones that don't ever say nothing. I'm just saying, you gotta watch that. Watch that. Next. So, those are all the bullet points that I could think of, but there are probably more that I would come up with later on, at some point in time, or I might experience some different ones that I'm just like, hey, actually, this is a good one. Let me add this to the list. So right now, I feel like I want to now move in transition into some important things that I feel like are important to remember, right, when dealing with these kind of issues and these kind of scenarios and stuff like that. So it does not matter how unaware a person is of themselves or what they are going through. You aren't responsible for moderating adults' emotions and their weird behavior. Once someone does a disrespectful act towards you, do not try to make excuses for them or make sense of it. Like, I stopped doing that. I'm like, you did it, you shouldn't have done it. I don't care if you're thinking about it now and be like, you know what, I shouldn't. You did it the first time. That's enough for me to never trust you. Adults are responsible for sorting out their own complexities and internal terrain. How they treat you is how they feel about you. People are passive by nature, and they're never going to literally say what they're thinking. You have to pay attention to their subtle actions, their statements, and their microaggressions. Usually, the more you trust yourself, the better. Because usually you sit up here, you try to think twice. You might sit up here and be like, well, you might try to make sense of like, maybe they did this because whatever. It's like, I don't think so. Like, how it is when you first meet someone and you get that feeling of what they possibly could remind you of, what they might be like. They make you feel like, like, I feel like you're this type of person. But then you get to talking to them and they probably act like something else, or, whatever, right? But for some reason, the reason that how you first felt, I'm so glad this is still recording, how you first felt is usually like right, is all I'm saying. So this is about trusting your instincts and your intuition more, and not trying to like always be logical about like, oh, well, this is happening because of this and because of this, because of this, as to why someone disrespected you. Now, don't get me wrong, like if you were doing certain things that provoke them to do that, you do have to kind of like be honest with yourself about if you are provoking it. But this is all these examples and all of these signs are for when you know that you're not doing that, when you know that you're not asking for trouble, when you know that you're not trying to provoke them, when you're literally just being yourself and that ends up happening. That's what those scenarios are for. Remember, it's not about you. They are infected by the force and they have not rid themselves of it. If someone has low self-esteem, you need to pay attention to that. If you have a healthy sense of self, be around others that also have a healthy sense of self. Once you have been shown the signs that someone has the force working through them to infiltrate you, you need to figure out how to exist around them if you have to be around them, and or start making plans to get out of that environment. You being stuck in that relationship or environment could be for a reason, to help you grow and recover parts of you that are suppressed. Might be in an environment where right now you can't afford to get out of that workplace. You can't afford to move out of that house or place of living, right? Like you might not even be able to like do that. Sometimes if you're stuck and you feel like you're stuck in there, you are might be there for a reason, because I feel like nothing is really a coincidence. It's very possible that on top of you being a special person, whatever, and them not liking you also might be a way, it might also be an opportunity for you to avenge what part of you may have been lost. And like I said, like a part of you that could be suppressed. And after doing that, you actually end up growing and being stronger and unlocking a very important part of you that is essential for you to move forward into your future self. Trying to be like a positive about like maybe these things, because no, it's not cool to always have to experience this, but unfortunately the human experience is not pretty. It's not fun all the time. It can be lonely, it can be hard, it can be stressful, it can be traumatic, so sometimes you do have to change your perspective and be like, okay, I have to go through this. I'm going through this. How am I about to make this experience that is hurting me serve me in some way? How am I about to become a winner within the situation and not a loser? How am I about to do this? How am I about to allow this experience here work for me and make me stronger or whatnot? So this is just some options here to kind of like further, this is just some options to kind of like further drive my point. So you can study them, the individuals that are doing these weird disrespectful acts to you, to understand their patterns, which can help you plan for how to interact with them and not be reactive all the time towards their attempts to infiltrate you, because sometimes like they need you to react, you know what I mean? So but I'll get to that point. So another option is you can embrace confrontation and defend yourself and acknowledge their weird behavior. However, if you were to do this, please understand that you have to expect for people to act like they don't know what you're talking about or what they're doing, and for them to be very defensive or something worse. Okay, so people don't like when you point out, people don't like when you point out the stuff that they do. their weird comments, weird behavior, etc., that they know is like a form of warfare onto your spirit or mental perception of yourself, sense of self, etc. And it's like jabs and attacks at you. Or when they disregard you or whatever, they don't like when you confront them about that. They don't like when you do that. They're not expecting you to do that, especially if you're someone that's usually never doing that in general. Like you're never calling things out whenever it happens immediately. They're gonna probably try to act like they don't know what you're talking about and stuff like that. Or like I said, they'll end up being very defensive, or it can be worse. And then another option is you can just be avoidant. You can ignore their tactics. You know, a lot of times the force within people would like you to react and show that you are upset. Like I was saying, you can just strictly know what's going on, seeing things for what they are, and then like choosing to not react. That sometimes these people need you to react because for them, it's confirmation that their tactics are working. Be careful trying to only play the avoidant role because either way it goes, sometimes things are going to come up that you really should address out of respect for yourself. And that's an opportunity for you to grow, for personal growth. So even if you want to like always, you know, downplay, be quiet, whatever, you see things and you're like, okay, I see that they tried to do this, whatever. And you want to like kind of like you want to ignore it. That can work, of course, but understand that there are times where you really might need to defend yourself, speak up for yourself. And if you don't do that, then you are losing that opportunity for you to grow. And in my opinion, I look at personal growth as a form of wealth because you're going forward, you're moving forward, you're integrating like gems within your life, like you are crafting yourself into whatever it is that you were supposed to be, that is like a better version of yourself. So I feel like any kind of situation or opportunity that pushes you into growing is good. Even if it feels uncomfortable, don't sleep on that. Don't take that opportunity for granted. Don't be afraid of the confrontation that is going to have to come with that, because most of the time that's what it is, and that is what people like to avoid, is the confrontation. Here are my solutions as well, and these are like the ones that I feel like help. Yeah, I feel like these have helped me, so I'm going to share them. So as I was saying, embrace confrontation. It will make you stronger. If you never start speaking up or challenging others when they do you wrong, you're not going to grow. Okay? And once again, like pick and choose, but yes, you have to embrace like the confrontation. You have to embrace the battlefield. Don't sit up here and like let people push you into the corner, make you not want to come out, make you hate yourself. Don't let them do that to you. You have to like fight back for yourself. Allow yourself to be mad. Say what's on your mind. Express yourself more. Don't feel bad and try to apologize for how it came out when they purposely disrespected you. Respond with what's most natural to you. Respond however is most natural to you. I feel like that is, in my opinion, like the gateway to becoming stronger. And also like unlocking the parts of you that might be suppressed. Some people like to kind of like play this game, this back and forth game there's nothing wrong with playing the game and like using tactics as well back on people. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that that comes in handy. However, sometimes you do have to just go the natural route because there might be a part of you that is suppressed. There might be an aspect of you that is suppressed that you actually need to retrieve. So if you kind of like only want to play tit for tat and like, oh, like I'm going to study how to do this or that. And it's like, I don't know. Me personally, I just kind of like to react how I feel like is the most normal to me. And I feel like that makes sense because I end up not really wanting to be involved as much in like this social game or whatever, although I still think that it has its purpose whenever you need to use it. Do whatever you want to do. Start doing what you want during the moments when you are around them. Stop caring about them. If you're bold, acknowledge their weird comments and behavior. If you really don't care, you can also hit them below the belt too when they do it to you. Prepare for battle if that happens. Like if you choose to like acknowledge what they're doing, and if you also choose to make comments the same way that they're making negative comments, understand that you're now kind of initiating the battle and the war or whatever, and it could last just in that moment or it could be ongoing or whatever. Depends on how destructive you are and how much they feel like they need to defend their ego or whatever. So it just depends. This is my favorite. Honestly, these few are my favorite. This whole list is my favorite right now. Take nothing personal ever. Detach from people's opinions and ideas about you. You have to like let that go. You got to be like, one day I could be this, the next day I can be that. You might be someone with a lot of range and people might really just want to put you in a box, but you're not meant to be in a box. So literally just do whatever you want to do, be whatever you want to be, say whatever you want to say. Like it's not that serious. People are still going to feel how they feel about you regardless. So you have to step back and take yourself outside of that and be what you want. Allow yourself to be what you want to be in any given moment. Be honest with yourself and your actions. You got to be honest about what you're doing. This is not one of those like kind of subjects where I'm like, yeah, we're always in the right. We're always in the right. You know, there are times that we do have to introspect. Yeah, just be honest about yourself and your own actions. You know what I mean? Embrace the force that is trying to upset you. If they are trying to get to you, that means that you are powerful. Why else would they? Why? You have so much potential. Why else would they be trying to infiltrate you? Like, honestly, and like I said, like honestly, some of these individuals are not even understanding. Like they're a conduit. I'm almost done. Don't ignore the truth. This is like my favorite, literally. Like once you see something for what it is, please do not try to like ignore it. Please make note of that. Please like face it. The truth is ugly as hell, but it's so beautiful to like, to me, it's beautiful to know the truth. Like I would choose that any day. It definitely is hard sometimes when you know certain truths, but I wouldn't have it any other way personally. And yeah, there is a certain kind of way that you will start presenting yourself or showing up um, when you have certain truths and you understand how things are operating, how someone else is operating, or what has been shown to you. Like, you're going to think differently. You're going to move differently. You're going to communicate differently. Don't ignore the truth. Do less meaningless talking. Speak with purpose and not out of anxiousness or being uncomfortable. Like, just literally don't waste your breath. Don't waste your breath. Don't waste your energy on like doing unnecessary talking. Stop people pleasing. Simple as that. You don't want to do something, don't do it. Stay in control of the direction of your life at all times and trust no one's word. Stay in control of the direction of your life at all times. At all times and trust no one's word. Stay in control. Stay in control. Stay in control. Trust no one's word. Take responsibility for your life and the events that take place in it and start assuming the role of your own parent. You are responsible for yourself. You're responsible for yourself. And also, when it comes down to taking the role of your own parent, the same way that if you have a child or you consider having kids and how you would protect your child from everybody and everything, you need to also do that for yourself. You need to also be like, I'm not about to let you talk to me like that, or I'm not about to let this happen. I'm too important, special, sacred, beautiful, strong. And, it's like, I care about myself. Treat yourself like you're your own child. Don't seek validation ever. I'm standing by that now because this year has literally taught me so much. The past 2 years have literally taught me so much. And I feel like this is just always at this point, a damn, what do people say, mantra? Like, don't seek validation ever. But at the same time, once again, that's a normal thing to seek out because you're human. And the way that the world has been constructed, that's what a lot of people are doing. It's probably never gonna go away, that feeling, but I think that it gets more silent. Like the desire for that becomes silent and starts to disintegrate the more comfortable you are with your actions and who you are, and just not seeking people's validation. Don't go out of your way ever. Don't go out of your way. Don't go out of your way. Simple as that. You feel like something is taking you out of your way, don't do that. This goes for everything. All these points go for anything and everything, any scenario. Treat people how they treat you. If they ignore you, ignore them. Simple as that. Sometimes you do that, I do this. I'm not playing fair. I'm not that to me, that is actually fair, quite frankly. What I mean is, like, I'm not about to like be nice and try to make you feel me, you know what I mean? Like, you were mean to me, but I'm gonna still like be nice to you. Like, now of course people have their own ways of like doing things. This is just my own solutions. And like, I feel like if you act like you don't see me, I'm gonna act like I don't see you. Like, I don't like when people do that. So if you don't want to do this, then I'm not gonna do it either. Simple as that. Pick and choose what is worth responding to. You don't need to take all their bait. So this kind of goes back into like the knowing how to ignore and stuff like that. It's like a lot of times people are like giving you bait so that they can mess with you and, interrupt your day, your mood, your sense of self, self-esteem, etc. Like, you have to pick and choose what to respond to. Not everything you're supposed to respond to. Do things that make you feel good about yourself. Do things that make you feel good about yourself. Your appearance, wardrobe, self-care, tidying up, moving your body, dancing, exercising, taking care of your body, taking yourself out, regardless if you have friends or dating, taking care of yourself in any way, do that. I'm just going to say this. Anytime that I clean my space, I feel like that creates so much potential. Like, anytime I like take the time out to like tidy up and clean, you'd be surprised how much of a difference that cleaning up and constantly having a clean space or a tidy space makes a difference in your life. I feel like in your mood and your mental clarity and stuff. Seriously, it helps. Take care of yourself. Wear the things that you want to wear. Pamper yourself when you can. Take care of yourself. Like I said, like, you're your own damn child. And that helps you feel good about yourself, of course, inside out, not just only externally, but inside, Shit, take some supplements, eat a damn salad every now and then, eat some fruit, drink some water, do whatever, move your body. Exercising is like so much of a game changer, and it does not have to mean to sign up to a damn gym. You do not, by all means, have to be in the gym. You can figure out ways. There are free resources on the internet. If you can't afford a gym membership, you can literally get on the internet, hop on the internet right now, find home workouts. If you don't like to lift or do anything like that, you can dance, you can go on a walk, you can just do whatever. But the reason that I'm saying to move your body is because things end up being harbored in your body when you feel negative. You know what I mean? By you even exercising, moving your body, doing stuff like that, you're going to end up looking good anyway when you burn calories and sweat and stuff. But you start to feel like powerful as hell. Like, I'm not going to lie, if I did not play sports in middle school and in high school, I might have been like real depressed. I might have been like way more depressed. I mean, I was already kind of like sad, but I think that because I played sports, it made me alchemize my emotions and like kind of transmute them into like, whatever. I'm just saying. And I think that it's not only because of the specific sport, but I think that it was just because I moved my body. So some of these like emotions and feelings like left me because I'm moving my body and it's going out. I'm sure someone can explain the science even more than how I'm saying it, but all I'm saying is moving your body makes a difference. So you have to do that, and you feel better about yourself. Another thing is that they don't like when you keep your head up and you have confidence, right? You need to sit up straight. You need to have good posture. You need to make eye contact with people. You need to put bass in your voice. Don't shrink yourself. Don't do it. Don't shrink yourself. Don't do that. You have to stay confident. I mean, even every now and then, of course, you have like the anxiety or you have the doubt, but it's like, nah, F all that. Just keep your chest out. Like period. Like, don't doubt yourself. Don't do it. Good posture, practice good posture, look people in their eyes. Don't be afraid to do that. I have been doing that all my damn life most of the time, but I feel like I do it more as a adult, and I feel like it engages people way more. I'm engaged with people a lot more, and I feel like people respect me because I look them in their eyes, and it can be like the most casual interaction, but I prefer to make eye contact with people. I may not do it all the time, but I personally prefer to do that because we need to be here. You need to, like, when you do that, people are forced to pay attention to you and like feel you because, like they always say, eyes are the windows to the soul. It makes a difference. Now, I have my moments where like I'm having a conversation with someone and I'm explaining something or talking, and I do like to look down or look away occasionally. Or when someone's talking to me, for me to process things, sometimes I like to just look away. And I feel like that's just my own way of doing things. Like, if you want to be respected, you have to be comfortable making the eye contact, having good posture, sitting up straight, and being confident. Get comfortable being by yourself. We are, why am I reading like that? So get comfortable being by yourself. We're not meant to be in isolation all the time, but when you find, you need to find solitude rather than distracting yourself with company. Simple as that. It can feel lonely, but would you rather be around people that don't like you or understand you? People that don't understand you and don't like you? Like, would you rather that? Would you rather be uncomfortable with like other people, or would you rather learn how to be uncomfortable alone? That way you can like never have to depend on someone for some type of validation or approval or acceptance that doesn't even like you. Strategize and plan how to get away from them. So this goes for the people that live with the people that have the force working through them. This goes for the people that um are in those jobs and stuff like that. Like, you, by all means, do what you got to do, okay? Because it's hard out here for a pimp, but you should be strategizing. Like, the moment you see that you're around some ops, but you can't get out of that situation yet or immediately, you need to be, baby, if there's a will, there's a way. You need to be strategizing. Don't say anything, which is my next solution. Protect your privacy and your future plans and keep quiet. STFU. Like, seriously, don't say anything. But yeah, strategize how to get away from them. Figure it out somehow, some way, if it's that bad. And protect your future plans, because no one needs to know all that ever. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I have to say. Stay safe out here. Do the best you can. Don't let anything or anyone try and, you know what I mean, like, make you feel like you're crazy unless you have appointed yourself that title and you're like, yeah, I'm crazy. That's right, I'm crazy. I need to stretch. Yeah, if you stay to the end of this, thank you for watching. Yeah, just do what you got to do. And I feel like my biggest takeaway is do what feels the most natural to you, because I feel like that's what has helped me. And of course, this is a journey. This is not some type of like perfectionism kind of journey where it's like, finally, like, I feel like every day you have the ability to choose who you would like to be, to choose to no longer be doing this or involved in this or accepting this or settling for this or being disrespected by this or them. So you have the ability to choose. So you need to choose. Every day you wake up, it's like, okay, boom. Like, if I'm no longer resonating with this, that's for a reason. Let me choose. It doesn't have to always be this like this trivial magical thing. It's like, you literally start with yourself. You literally start with changing your mindset. That's how it starts. It doesn't start with trying to find a book all the dang time and listen to a freaking 30-hour lecture, or, finding some external tools to help you. It's literally just about you and how you're going to give yourself your own initiative process to begin being what it is that you would like to be. Um, and going back to the force, it's like, please pay attention, because in a lot of those bullet points, those are the ways that's just how they work. But mind you, you are stronger. That is a low ranking kind of power and spirit or entity. So they really don't have any chance. However, through my solutions, I think that is what keeps them. That's what keeps your fortitude. The solutions keep your fortitude. Taking care of yourself, moving your body, being confident, addressing things, embracing confrontation, parlaying with the force. That way you don't just let them put you in the corner and make you hide. And you know what I mean? It's like, no, they want you to do those things. They want you to hide. They want you to not be powerful, or not feel powerful, or not feel confident. That's what they do. So it's up to you to decide what it is that you now, once you understand what's going on, like how you're going to show up for yourself, how you're going to defend yourself, how you're going to protect yourself, how you're going to combat them, how you're going to embrace them and be like, okay, yeah, like I see you. I see this is happening. Let's go. Like, sometimes you can just treat it like it is a game or a genuine battle, and like defeat it. That is pretty much all I have to say. And I can't wait to talk about more things at some point whenever I feel like I have the time to create these videos and expound on subjects, topics, experiences that I feel like are important and that I would also like to share with other people. So yeah, peace.